Hi folks, and welcome to Schick Happens. In today's episode, I'm just kind of walking around the property. Really don't have any skits planned or any funny commentary. Just out enjoying this fall weather, the leaves, and everything else. It's about 62 degrees, the sun's out, there's a slight breeze. I just wanted to go walk around, look at a few things, and take the camera with me. There are a couple things I did bring with me. First and foremost, an ice cold beverage. And I've noticed over the past couple weeks there was a few commenters or subscribers in the comment section asked if I was drinking some kind of pumpkin spice drink, or what was the other one? Oh, orange soda. I can't stand orange soda. Come to think of it, I don't like anything pumpkin either, to be honest. Some of my subscribers, they have some cooking channels, or they do cooking on their channels, and have made some pumpkin ingredient bread and muffins and all kinds of neat stuff, and it really does look good, but I'm just not a big fan of pumpkin. But anyway, this is just a bush light cam. In the fall, during hunting season or around hunting season, they come out with these limited edition hunter's cans. So that's what the orange is. The other two items I brought with me on this walk is my trail cam reader, where I can just go to the trail cams, pop the SD cards out, see what's on them. And then I brought with me a roll of yellow ribbon. And what I'm looking for, the reason I have this, is walking around the property here, if I see some real small oak trees, whether they're white oak, pin oak, or red oak, I'm going to flag them. Because here in another week or two, I'm going to come around when we get some more rain, the ground gets wet, I'm going to dig them up in the woods here along the tree line, and I'm going to get them transplanted into spots where I want some trees to grow. It's a little bit of work, but it's a hell of a lot cheaper than buying trees at the store, I can tell you that. I just found an arrow, a crossbow arrow, with a broadhead on it. One of my arrows. I actually shot this about 8 years ago from one of my tree stands over here in an oak tree. I missed the deer. I don't know if I shot high or low, but it was a clean miss regardless. And I spent hours looking for this arrow. I don't know if you're like me, but I love the smell of autumn. I don't know what it is. It's just something about the fragrance and aroma of when it starts cooling down and the leaves change. You can always smell fires going in the distance, people burning leaves. And that's another thing too. Everybody talks about how much they love the leaves and the change in the color, but the second they hit the ground, they're frantically trying to blow them off the lawn and clean their yard back up, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine, but I love seeing the leaves on the ground. It makes some good mulch for the grass, and besides, where I'm at, the wind usually blows them away anyway. But I just love the smell of autumn, the smell of fall. There's something about it. That, and it's a far sight better than smelling the 5 hogs up there behind the house. I can tell you that. Wonder if I'll run into Jehoshaphat walking around. The old guy with land. Think I'll run into him? I doubt it. There's an oak sapling here, but this is way, way bigger than I'm looking to flag. Now, this is probably almost 3 feet tall, and I'll bet that taproot is just as deep in the ground. Even an oak tree this size here, I'm not going to get that taproot out, I don't think. Not without a tree spade. I'm looking for a lot smaller than this. There's a little cluster of oaks right in here. This might be one I could maybe get out. I'll get a ribbon on him. Now typically what I found when I transplant these, even when I get the full taproot out, they'll green up and leaf out for about the first 3 or 4 years. They won't grow much, if at all. I think that taproot is just trying to reestablish itself. I'm certainly no arborist, but usually what I found is that 3rd or 4th year is when they start shooting up. And if it goes 4 or 5 years and it's not growing at all, or growing very little, I'll cut the tree off about that far from the ground on an angle in late spring. And usually a couple shoots will come up. And I've grown some really nice oak trees over the past 15 years by using that method as well. Did you hear me burp in that last clip? I could hear it. This here is a nice oak that I transplanted about 9 years ago, 8-9 years ago. It's just a real little sapling, and it took about 4 years before it kicked off. But this tree is 15, 16 feet tall now. It's beautiful. This is what I'm trying to achieve. Right about the same year that I transplanted the tree I was just talking about, I did these behind me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's like 6 behind me here. Right at about the same time. And every year I just keep dotting areas back here with these oaks, and I'm starting to get some maples mixed in too. The idea in here in the next 10-15 years, long after I'm retired, I want to be able to enjoy this section back here. So that's why every fall I transplant close to 60-70 trees. Alright, I'm just checking one of the trail cameras here. A couple little scrub bucks, but a lot of nice doe coming through. I like that. I like having and keeping the does here. You can do that, the bucks will be around here sooner or later. It's a nice doe. Oh, and right behind us here is one of my box blinds. That's usually where the wife hunts. She likes it. Does this spot look familiar? No? This is one of the areas that Tim Phillips and I planted some ginseng seeds. Bet you can't find it. Right on the other side of this sign, this is an Ohio Department of Natural Resources sign, marking the boundary between public hunting and private property. Behind me is my property. On that side is 650 acres of public hunting ground. And people ask me why I don't do quality deer management. I'm telling you, The people that come out here, if it's brown, it's down. We do the best we can, but we can only do so much. Now this is pretty interesting here. This oak tree that I'm leaning against is probably 36 to 40 inches at the base. It's a massive, massive tree. And coming right out the center of it is some extremely old fencing. So at some point, maybe 70 years ago, 80 years ago, 120 years ago, I don't know, a farmer that lived here stapled up some of this fencing, probably to keep their livestock in, against this small oak sapling. I wonder how many years ago that was. And here's an added bonus right at the base here. Going up next to the fencing is some wild ginger. Pretty cool. Well, I've probably bored you long enough, but I just thought I'd have you walk along with me on a fall hike through the woods, out back, and enjoy this autumn weather. I rarely look at my videos that I've put on YouTube. I spend so much time editing them, I don't want to look at them again. But I have a feeling come dead winter or in the middle of summer, I might go back to watch this video just to see this beautiful surroundings. But anyway, thanks for joining me here today on Schick Happens. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, like it. And I always ask that you share these videos because I don't do Facebook, Instagram, any of that. If I want this channel to get any bigger, I gotta rely on you folks to share these videos I put out. So if you could, that would mean the world to me. Oh, and if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button.